What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today, and today I have a very exciting fleet by type video for you guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at all my cargo models. I really hope you guys are excited for this video, as there are many really cool cargo models in this collection that I'm really excited to take a look at. So, as you guys know, I've really been trying to diversify my fleet videos and really go into detail about some very let's say not very talked about parts, because obviously the civil airplanes for the most part get all the love, but I think it's really cool to dive into some of these different areas, including military, cargo, general aviation, that sort of thing. So hope you guys are excited for this, and let's take a look at some of these airplanes. So we'll just start out over here, and I'll talk about my long-term desires afterwards. So beginning right here with the engine models, UPS Boeing 757-200 with the worldwide services synchronized in the world of commerce titles. It's a really cool model. Obviously, it's pretty much an essential part of not every model airport in the United States, but you'll find out with several of these that they're pretty common. So with most of my model airports, it was a must-have, and I've seen several of these. So recently just saw one at Denver as of filming as well. So couldn't not have, it's a special plane. I love it. It's a really nice, it's a nice proportional aircraft. It looks really good, and that's what I love about some of these cargo planes. They're really nice proportional, and they look fantastic. So that is certainly the case with this UPS 757 by NG. I would not mind getting a second one because they are very common at some of my model airports, but just to get some variety going too. But for now, one is certainly plentiful, and we will take the cake there. Here's a GeminiJets UPS 767-300 with also the synchronized in the world of Converse titles. This was a 2015 release, and it's certainly been a workhorse. This is my very first cargo aircraft to my knowledge. I did have a Gemini UPS 757 way back when, but that unfortunately broke. This one I've had for quite some time, like I said, and it's really carried the load. So certainly really cool. And if any of you are watching this and would like to see, I think this made an appearance with several other models, but I had a one-off fictional airport that I did with my GeminiJets, or the big airport dioramas mat, that I did all the way back in 2018 that I never uploaded. Comment below if you'd like to see that, and I will consider uploading it for you guys. But nevertheless, this is a really cool aircraft. I'm certainly glad to have it. The UPS fleet goes strong. It looks amazing. Another one I was really excited to get a couple years ago at this point that has been a workhorse in the fleet is the Airbus A300 freighter by Aero Classics. So glad that they chose to do this one, and it was fantastic. I really like the details on this one. It just has the worldwide services titles this time around. Really cool model, and this is a really common aircraft for UPS. Not saying they fly at every airport the UPS flies to, but there's a good chance that if you have a model airport and UPS flies there, they are flying this little guy. So really glad to have it. It's a really nice size too. It's not as big as the 7.5, but also not as big as the 7.6. So it's really nice area. UPS was able to snag up many of these during the time that they need them. So that is what we have right there. This McDonnell MD-11 freighter is also a critical component to the fleet. Very glad to have this one, as it's very common throughout the bigger airports in the United States, and I've seen several of them, including the other day as well. At Denver, yes, two 767s, 757, and a MD-11, so that was really cool. And then at Dallas the other day when I was there, I got to see A300, like 767-300s, 3 MD-11s, and multiple 757s too. So yeah, if you know of any big airports, you're going to see all these cargo planes. Here's a 747-400. I hope to get to see one of these sometime. Really cool to see all the cargo 747s that are flying around. I hope to add some like Air Chinas, maybe some of those other carriers. I'm trying to think of some of the others off the top of my head, but there's many. Cargo Lux, yes, there's so many of those that I would love to add to the fleet in terms of cargo airplanes. So hopefully I'll get to add more of those, but at least we have a 747 for UPS here. My fleet of FedEx airplanes is also really big for Federal Express. Here's a 727-200. Of course, I picked this up for Retro Airport project, and they also have one that's actually situated at the Spartan facility at Tulsa International Airport, so I thought it was too good of an opportunity. But these are pretty hard to come by, so good luck if you're able to find one. They're really, really hard to find. So really cool plane though, very nice, and a very unique design there. These were in mini liveries too, but the final one was applicable for this situation. Here's the 757-200. This is an NG model. This was my very first NG model, and certainly was a very special one. Love the detail. You can really see there with the windows that are kind of overlying there. It's certainly a beautiful airplane. Very glad to have it. And just like the 757 for UPS, most airports are going to see this guy as well. Another one that's very common among U.S. airports is the 767-300 freighter. These are very common. I know GeminiJets recently released another one of these, so if you're looking for one, that's a great opportunity to get one. These are beautiful airplanes. So I'm trying to get my camera to get off the stupid macro mode. I can't believe this camera just sometimes will not cooperate, but it's a really nice model. It has great detail on it, and they did a really good job. This one does not have aerials because this was purchased from the FedEx company store, which I guess the corporate version didn't have aerials, so we just got this, but it certainly looks great. And here's the Airbus E300 freighter that Aero Classics did, a huge component as well. These are probably even more common than the UPS ones, to be honest, or I don't know, they're very common. So certainly glad to have this one. I've seen it more times than what I can count. They're beautiful planes, and I would never regret seeing them at any given time. So certainly a great fleet of FedEx, but we have more. All right, so the A3 Twins down here, this is for the same reason as the 727 when it comes to the retro airport project, but I actually did get to see one of these back in 2015. Really special moment at Tulsa International Airport when I got my very first DSLR camera. It was a Canon T5. We went to TUL on a really chilly January morning. It was probably close to zero. It was super cold, I remember, but I did get to see this guy, and it was really cool. The weather was great, and that was the only time I think I ever saw one. I don't know the tail number off the top of my head, but it was certainly a very cool moment in my spotting journey so far, and I really enjoyed that. So that was really cool, and yeah, long live the A310. This is a Dragwings. Here's a Doubles DC-10. Super sad to get these see these retired. As of the time of the video, they were probably a couple months ago at this point, but yeah, these were really big workhorses. I was trying to figure out the last one I ever saw. I think it was probably Tulsa, July 2020, but I could be wrong on that. I'm gonna have to go back and look. But yeah, these flew to many airports across the United States, and it was really cool when these went to mid-sized airports on an infrequent basis, but also obviously to the bigger airports too. So very fortunate to get to see several of these, and I hope you guys did too while they were around. They are very cool airplanes and certainly a great component to the cargo network. My last FedEx airplane for now is the McDonnell Douglas MD-11 freighter. This is another beautiful airplane. I really like the detail on it. It has many attributes that are really cool. So I'm hopeful to build upon this aircraft in the near future, and it's a really nice one. I love the detail on it. And this one came from, oh boy, I don't remember how I got this one. Oh, I bought it a couple years ago off of a, I think it was a museum I got it off of. Massive Unboxing 15 has an answer, but I think it was like a museum in Seattle or something. I can't remember, but I remember I got it from the museum because it was available. So, but certainly a great variety of aircraft here, and they are very nice to say the least. Alrighty, here we go. Got a Kalitta Charger 727-200. Was very glad to get this aircraft. I originally got it because it was my first ever 727, but it ended up coming to Tulsa all the time and many other airports. So certainly got to utilize it really heavily, which I was not expecting thus far, of course, and hopefully more to come. I'm sorry, guys, this stupid camera mode. There we go. But I'm certainly very glad to have it. It's a beautiful airplane in general, and it looks really nice. So very glad to have the Kalitta Chargers 2 727-200. DHL 737-800 also got utilized more times than I expected. I initially got it for Reno and Phoenix by themselves, but got to use that at some different airports like Tulsa and a couple others, so I've certainly got to enjoy that. It's a really pretty plane. I love the detail on it. NG Models did a good job on this one back in 2020. I'm certainly glad they chose to make it. So here's the DHL 737-800. I think it's iAero airway tail number. All right, so here's the Primera 737-800. This guy's also going to get more use than what I initially anticipated. I originally got it for Phoenix predominantly, but now it's going to get some other uses like Albuquerque and hopefully maybe like Reno or Tulsa soon. Really good choice long term because these are very common, and I love the livery. It's really nice with the all blue into the Amazon tail. I love it. I'm so glad to have it. It's really nice. Here's a Primera 767-300. I am still after the winglet one because I love the winglet design, but I still really like this one. I also hope to get the Going for Gold, even though that got repainted. I did get to see it, so love picking up airplanes that I've seen before. That's one of my favorite parts of collecting, but this is still a really cool one. I'm so glad I got it. Thank you to Aviation TUS for hooking me up here and helping me out getting this. I really appreciate it, and he has a great channel, so go check him out. Likewise for this one, this is the Kalitta Air DHL Hybrid 767-300. This is also a fantastic airplane. I'm super glad to have this one, even though these got retired. It's still nice to have some sort of substitute here for the Polars, the one I really want. I think Phoenix did that one, so I probably need to go snatch that up at some point. But yeah, the cargo fleet certainly has some great diversity to it, and that is the fleet. I really hope to build on it. I think it's made some tremendous progress, especially over the last couple of years, but there are many planes that I'd still like to get here, including, like I said, more cargo 747s and more international cargos in general, because I am lacking in that department bad. China Airlines Cargo 747s, Eva Air 777s. There's so many that I've seen over the years that I've not got. And I'm not necessarily held off, but I've just wondered because I feel like one day I just want to go all out and get them all. So I don't know how I'll tackle it when the time is right, but I'm hopeful at some point I can get a good opportunity here to get after all of them. So that's certainly my goal there. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to get that at some point in the near future. Also want to get some more smaller ones. Primary ATR 42 is certainly one, or 72, excuse me, is one of them. Would love to get that aircraft to add to the fleet, and it flies to a couple of the airports. I'm sure there's a couple others as well. I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head. I hope to do some shapeways customs with some blank aircraft, because there are, like, Aero has an all-white 737-800. They have a, I think they might have, Khalida might have an all-white 727. Obviously the Khalida charters livery like that 727s on a 737-400 too, so I'd love to try to make that. There's obviously the hybrid livery between Khalida and DHL that is very similar to that, but it is slightly different, so would love to get to make that too, and many of the other cargo planes that I've seen over the years. You know, really just diversifying it in general. Like the Polar is another great one that I would like to get. I would really like to get a cargo interactive airplane. That would certainly be something on my list. Interactive 777 for FedEx, maybe, perhaps, even though, like I said, that doesn't have much use for the model airports. Would certainly still be cool for just the collection in general. And there's many other great options. So I hope to add to the fleet. Not looking for anything particular because most of the cargo needs are knocked out to a degree, but I also need some smaller ones like FedEx Caravans for Albuquerque and some other small miscellaneous cases as well. There are some planes that I'm certainly looking to work towards, so I hope to do that as well. But certainly a really nice fleet of aircraft. Would love to get some smaller ones too, like I said. So really eager to see how I can build on this collection. I think it's going really good for now. But with all that being said, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.